It's my pleasure. Now we have Dr. B.K. Rastogi. Good morning, sir. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. B.K. Rastogi. He did his MSc and PhD degree from IIT ISN Dhanbad. Presently, he is president of Indian Society of Earthquake Science. He retired as a Director General in Institute of Seismological Research, Gandhinagar. He has also served at NGRI Hyderabad as a head seismology division. He has done pioneer research work in seismic microzoation, earthquake hazard assessment for critical structures like dams, nuclear power plants, natural gas, terminals, as well as high-rise buildings. He has authored a book named Dams and Earthquakes, published by Elsevier, and authored more than 200 research papers with more than about 5,000 citations. With this brief introduction, now I invite Dr. B.K. Rastogi to deliver his lecture. And I request also to limit your lecture within 20-25 minutes. Dr. B.K. Rastogi, it is now over to you.
Sir, I think he again lost his connection because I am not able to see him in the panelist. Maybe
okay, try.
I will just call him. Yeah, meanwhile, if there is any additional questions to Dr. Bansal, I think, is there any additional question unanswered? I think all questions have been answered. Yeah.
Sir, it is all question and answered, sir. No question is.
Yeah.
Fine. So I am free from your end?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
No,
I think Dr. Rastogi is connecting now.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, really. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You can share your.
Yeah, Srivalsa, can you put my? Actually, if you have my presentation, you can connect my presentation, and I will speak on mobile here.
Okay. Sir, when did you send me the presentation? From your which email ID, sir?
I had sent to Pawan.
Oh, I have not received yet.
Are.
Oh, I was not informed about that. Oh, you have sent to Pawan. Or if you can send email to me, I will just quickly download and share here.
presentation है वो इनको आप दे सकते हैं श्रीवत्सा ये देखिए email ID. I am trying to send that to you.
Yeah, if you can forward, I can share. I have not received actually. I was unaware of that.
Yeah. Srivalsa.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At NITK.
Yeah. Please. Yes.
Srivalsa at NITK. At NITK. हाँ NITK.edu.in हमारा प्रेजेंटेशन पे
Not yet received, maybe.
he is sending, but you
Okay.
can is introduction everything over?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Then
can start
maybe
speaking
I
as soon as I
can start speaking extempore.
Yes.
I
Sure.
can start. Okay. Then thank you very much, Seventh Ragi, for letting me speak extempore for the time being until the presentation is received. The work in, say, Gujarat in many types of geological environments has been done seismic hazard estimation at individual sites as well as microzonation. And individual sites have been about a dozen ports of Gujarat, and then some high-rise buildings, and many other critical structures like nuclear power plants, natural gas storage and distribution terminals, Statue of Unity, so many other places. And then microzonation also some 6-7 places. Some times there was support from MOU, and now some 8 cities are being microzonation is being done by ISR, and so that is though I am retired, but still I am having permission to present this presentation on behalf of ISR, and the work has been done by many scientists of ISR, and here I will ऑन हो गया इधर I can speak.
Sir, your voice is breaking. I think it could be due to poor internet connection.
I'm from laptop also. Anyway, so there are many types of geological, geophysical, and geotechnical investigations done. There is a full-fledged geotechnical lab at ISR, and Professor T.G. Sitaram's help was sought in constructing that lab, and that is functioning well. And in this scheme, what we are taking up is first, say, seismicity map within 50 kilometers for near faults, and also up to 300 kilometers for distant far field fault, earthquake. So earthquake is assigned, and also then hello.
Yeah, yes, sir. Please go ahead. Whenever you want me to go to the next slide, you can tell me.
Okay, now you have slide. Okay, good. So you have the first slide where seismicity map and all is written. Second slide, and then no, sorry. Back. Do you have this seismicity map and for radius 50 kilometer and 300 kilometer? Then we have a geological map with us, and then seismotectonic map also, and geomorphological map has to be prepared afresh, because every 5 years geomorphology of an area changes. So it is done by remote sensing and then field check, and it is done to know the drainage pattern and geotechnical nature of layers. So, and digital elevation map is also required, because that is also needed. Then in this lecture, I will not speak much on the earlier aspects, but I will speak a little more on the geophysical methods for knowing the faults in the area, because that is very important. And अच्छा वही कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. Then geotechnical investigations are done by drilling up to 50 meters and sometimes even more. SPT values are noted, lithologs are prepared, the soil properties, all kinds of soil properties are done at ISR, and then we make through 2D, 3D soil type mapping and depth to different layers. And engineering bed layer depth of EBL is determined, and it is decided when VS is more than say 450 meters per second, and it is present in the entire area. And for this we need sometimes for deeper layers geophysical methods and broadband seismographs, microtremor recorders, passive seismic, and shallow seismic. So this is the another aspect which I will speak in detail today. And here what we do for seismic hazard is assume time history of acceleration, knowing from taking from stochastic finite fault source modeling, and it is given by one Mota-Desian and Atkinson paper, and then it is even at the EBL. And major thing is above EBL, we have to know all the layers in detail. So at the base of EBL, this is assumed, and then it is passed on through the computer program, and then we determine at surface. So at surface, what we find out is acceleration ground time history, and then amplification, as well as PGA values and response spectra. And on this basis, then we determine duration of shaking and also liquefaction potential. Next. So this is here what we have the how VS30 is determined. One is determined by PS logging, which is left side top is shown, and then VS map is prepared with depth, and also with Maswa method shallow seismics. This kind of 2D layer, 2D sections of 100 meter, 150 meter are prepared and then extended, and this is the kind of say layer and velocity, depth and velocity are prepared. We compare that with the SPT N values, and usually they tally, but is sometimes what happens, there is some problem in SPT N value, so that is corrected from the basis on the basis of VS. Then we determine the 2D and 3D soil map, and on this basis next we can prepare next slide. we can prepare this soil profiles at different boreholes, and this kind of then this is at the base of this. Then we put the input seismic hazard, and then it is passed on through the different layers, and then on surface it is determined, and then it is say here what we have in the top middle is the spectral response, and then that is used then for final, and duration, strong motion duration is also taken out from this particular output, and also the maximum. So this is an example of VS30 map what we prepare with different methods, and this is in a special investment region southwest of Ahmedabad, and it is VS30 map is prepared. It is good morning, sir. 5 smart cities are coming in this, and futuristic cities are there. But here, right hand side, also VS was measured up to 20-30 meters, and then what we saw that damage in Anjar was much more in these places where VS30 was less, and there was less damage where VS30 was more. So here it is showing in a nutshell the studies where what we have done. Here it is the say Dholera Special Investment Region where we showed VS30 map, the left hand top left hand side, and here on the center top is the GIFT city, and it is near next to ISR, and here 100-story building is planned and so many other buildings. 2 buildings of 28 stories were prepared ready at that time, and now many other buildings are ready. Here is the Statue of Unity where we did seismic hazard assessment, and also the strength of foundations and all layers. Here multi-story structures, nuclear plants, and here multi-story building, and here LNG terminal at Mundra and Dahej left side town lowermost, and then ports of Gujarat. So all these places, seismic hazard assessment on site, as well as microzonation of Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, Bhuj, and Surat, many cities also completed, and 8 more cities are being undertaken with the funding of MOES. Next. So next, you can tap one more here. Inauguration of 2 20-story building is again tap on this slide. Next. So here inauguration by at that time CM and now Prime Minister Modi. So I was standing in the back here. So the Modi Sahab noticed me and asked, "Is this building designed earthquake resistant?" I said yes. They have actually we suggested to have the zone 4 parameters, safety parameters taken instead of zone 3, which is national code here, and also the foundation should go below the liquefiable layer, which was discovered at about 15 meters. So the piles were then on our advice taken below that, and then it is safe. So here what we found that as you know, it is the seismic zoning map of India, and zone in zone 2.1 PGA, zone 3.16, zone 4.24. So like that, PGA is given. Next, we found that near the falls, as it is given in the code also, that within say 10 kilometers, you have to do your own studies. What we found that even up to 15-20 kilometers, the hazard is much more, maybe 50% more than what is expected. And so we recommended in this Gujarat, it is applied that special investigations have to be done even up to 20 kilometers if magnitude 6 is expected, but up to 40 kilometers if it is more than 7 near about 8 magnitude in Kutch area. So that is what is being followed. And here then next we see that the left side you see up to 2 to 4 hertz, there is maybe more than 50% more acceleration is recorded. And so that is what our recommendation was, and it is applied that up to 20 kilometers we have to have a special investigation for magnitude 6 to 7 earthquake, and also for magnitude 8 up to say more than 40 kilometers. So that is the recommendation followed at least in Gujarat. Now here, if time is there, we'll discuss that with this say seismograms on top, we can find several layers and their velocity depth of several layers, and we have to assume depending upon geology the approximate velocity, and then depth of here say Gandhinagar area, there is tertiary and Deccan Trap boundary which is at about 4 kilometer depth. So here it is 0.2 hertz. Quaternary tertiary boundary, and that is with this 0.7 hertz frequency up to at 340 meter depth, and quaternary 1 to 2 at 1.5 hertz is at 100 meters. So like that, rough idea is obtained of layers. So here this in Gandhinagar micro tremor also see 0.7 or this bound this layer 340 meters, that is visible. So in the other area, Dholera area also with the natural earthquake seismogram, we can know some depths like that. What is the depth up to basement? It is 5 kilometers, and Deccan Trap and Mesozoic boundary is at 350 meters. Quaternary and tertiary boundary is at 100 meters, and Holocene 1 and 2 boundary at 15 meters. So here we can see that from microtremor study, 3 hertz, this particular layer, the topmost layer can be seen, and at a depth of about 15-20 meters. Next. So this is very useful for our deciding on layers and their strength and velocities and engineering bed layer. This is a map of a VS30 map, and different geological conditions are there, from hard rock up to soft soil. So in soft soil, there is up to 300 meter per second, and in hard rock, in Deccan Trap, it is about 800, and hard rock is 1500 up to 1500 meter per second. This kind of velocity map is already prepared. Next. So this is the map of predominant frequency, what has been obtained. So in soft rock, it is, I think here I cannot see, it is up to say about 4 hertz, then 3 hertz and 2 hertz like that. different 2 to 5 hertz natural frequency. So here in a deterministic way, we made a map of deterministic seismic hazard map of Gujarat based on different faults which are there. So this is for left side in Kutch. There are major faults and major earthquakes which can be there. So these are the faults and expected earthquakes of magnitude 7 or more. So then this kind of map is prepared, PGA map, and in Kutch it is maybe 0.3, 4 or up to 0.5, 0.8 G or so in Kutch, and it is less in other say and also at surface we can see this is slightly more. So PGA and spectral acceleration at 10 hertz is like that, and 2 hertz is like that, 1 hertz is like that. So we can see what could be the hazard deterministic way in this area. So this is the estimation of strong ground motions at 32 sites was done. So PGA and spectral accelerations range is in Kutch area, PGA is 500, in Saurashtra it is 200, and it is the mainland, it is 50, and these are the spectral accelerations. It is quite high in the Kutch and less in other areas. So here we are coming to identification of faults. This is very important. Sometimes it is needed also to prove that there is no fault in the area. So that also negative finding also is to be done. This was the problem in Mundra LNG terminal site, and there was some map in GSI which showed some fault nearby, but when we found it is not based on any study, anything, so we had to find. So this is for very shallow layers. Earlier figure also here the GPR method up to say 40 meters or so it can be applied. So we can see that there is a fault at some depth and also at surface. So this 3D mapping by GPR can be done for near surface. And also for here we can do from Maswa method also shallow surface fault can be identified. On surface we can see there is a fault near Kutch, Bhuj, and with depth 20-30 meters the velocities are going, lower velocities are going like that. So here also we can see electrical methods also up to say 75, 80, 100 meters. It can be seen very nicely. These faults can be seen that some fault is running like that in the. So for still very deep layers and even up to more depth, we can use gravity method. So we had used gravity method to know the major faults which are there, say like Kutch mainland fault and a transverse fault in Kutch, which was also active. So gravity method can be used. Next. So this in section we can see that sudden change in gravity in top figure. You see this is the Kutch mainland fault on top center. You can see some sudden variations on surface layers. Basement is showing some fault, and also more depth and all that also is interpreted from gravity method. Next. So like that in detail here there is some intrusive structure there which is giving very high gravity. So here also some more concentration of stress and strain is there. So we have to find out these geological structures to know what is in store in future. At least for very critical structures, we have to know all these information. Next. What we found that magnetotelluric method gives really a very good mapping of faults, almost like seismic method. And here we can see the where 2001 Bhuj earthquake was there. This is the causative fault of that. It can be seen, and further north. I mean, causative fault was this, but this is also a major fault which was earlier active for 1957 Anjar earthquake. And here also this actually causative fault is like this. The one fault is here. So like that we can see. And here also we saw in the Dholera special investment region, nobody had done this kind of mapping. Here there is only a speculative fault because there is a basin east in the sea basin there, Cambay basin. So there has to be a fault that was assumed, but nobody mapped that. We could map by magnetotelluric that it is about 1 kilometer away from the 500 meter away from the coast, and it is like that. Next. So here it was we did outsourcing of 2D seismic reflection survey, and to show and to find, to give a negative finding. It was also given that there is a somebody mapped a fault, some drawing a line is no problem, so there was a line drawn, but there also was no survey. On what basis it has been shown as a fault, nobody knew. So we had to do the survey to negate that there is no fault. We have this kind of thing, so there is no fault, only some gradual away from the coast in the sea. So this kind of finding also was very useful. Next. One more thing what we do, which nobody else is doing, is knowing the future hazard, what kind of earthquakes are possible. So we do recurrence interval for active faults. So all these active faults, we have already prepared a recurrence period, and for next very large earthquake of 8 magnitude or 7.5, like that, when it could be there, like that also is very useful, and that is what we do. So yeah, thank you so much for patience and disturbance during my lecture. Thank you so much, Sri Valsa and T.G. Sitaram and the organizers. Next. Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rastogi, for a nice lecture, even with network problem, during network problem. I think, Dr. Nayak, we have some question for Dr. Rastogi.
Yes, yes, sir. There is no question till now.
Okay, no
In
question.
chat box.
Okay, during this session, there were one lecture given by Dr. B.K. Bansal on mitigation of seismic hazard through science and technology intervention. He presented the Indian scenario. His lecture was more towards earthquake recording, different areas, how they are being maintained, as well as a scenario of seismic microzonation at national level. Dr. Rastogi presented various techniques, that is geotechnical, geological, and geophysical techniques for site characterization, as well as in deep seismic microzonation of Gujarat area. And he also presented how to find out map various seismogenic sources in Gujarat area, as well as what is the return period on each seismogenic sources, which will be very much useful in future for doing seismic hazard prediction as well as seismic microzonation. In nutshell, we can say that to develop a earthquake-proof city, seismic microzonation is essential. Further, as you know, nowadays multi-stories are coming. For example, 30-story, 50-story, even more in future. So we have to map entire sedimentary deposit up to depth of basement. Depth of basement means where our shear wave velocity is more than 1800 or 2000 meters per second. So now we should not concentrate only up to VS30. We should concentrate up to VS 2000, VS 1800, means depth up to which we have sedimentary deposit. So entire sedimentary deposit is going to play a major role in damage during earthquake. And considering these high-rise buildings, and particularly, as you know, during this Bhuj earthquake of 2001, there were unexpected damage in Ahmedabad city. Multi-story buildings were damaged, 10-story, 12, 15-story building. And there was no damage to houses or buildings having story less than 4 story. So this selective damage was because of large magnitude earthquake here in Bhuj, 7.8. And as you know, your earth acts as a filter, so high frequencies were removed. And because of occurrence of double resonance phenomena, means resonance of buildings natural frequency with the natural frequency of entire sediment deposit in Ahmedabad city was responsible for selective damage. So we have to think in future that how to find out sedimentary deposit up to depth of basement, so that we can avoid unexpected damage to high-rise buildings, as well as our city should be smart as earthquake proof. With these few words, now I wind up this 25th session of 7th Higrashi. And thanks to both the speakers, Dr. Bansal and Dr. Rastogi. It's over to you, Dr. Srivastava.
Thank you, sir. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I sincerely thank Chairman of the session, Professor J.P. Narayan, and co-chair of the session, Dr. Chittaranjan Nayak, for very efficiently conducting this session. And thanks to Dr. Bansal and Dr. Rastogi for delivering excellent presentation, very interesting presentation on seismic hazard assessment and seismic microzonation, very relevant topic. And special thanks to Rastogi that in spite of the difficulties, he made a point to join here and made a very effective presentation. Thank you, sir, for your kind gesture. So we appreciate and salute you for that. Once again, thanks to all the listeners, participants, and thanks to chair and co-chair. Special thanks to both of them for conducting this session very effectively. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We conclude the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.